Passan. How you doing, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Well, I don't know what's going on right now, everyone. We just got stuff coming from all over the place. Anything Juan Soto right now, it just feels, I don't even know. I'm getting, my eyes are starting to hurt. My brain is starting to hurt. I don't know what's going on. We're seeing random reports from guys named Mick. We're seeing, guys from Dominican Republic telling us things. We got this guy from New York saying something. We got this guy saying something. I don't know what's going on, but what matters is we got the main man himself, Jeff Passan, giving us the update that we all needed. I think Jeff Passan, I think he needs to start coming on a little bit more and telling everyone, listen, you all got to relax a little bit. This guy was eating his turkey, his mashed potatoes, his yams, his pie on Thanksgiving, and he came on and said, we're shutting this down, everybody. This guy named Mick, who the heck is Mick? This ain't happening, right? Go enjoy your Thanksgiving. Well, he's come on today again. There's been a lot of noise here. We will dive through all of it. Not a long stream here for tonight because really there's only like kind of one thing to talk about, really. I'll probably do another video tomorrow morning to catch up on other news, but I figured we'll just we'll keep it to Juan Soto here for tonight, and then we'll go over other stories that are floating around. I did actually just post a video just a few hours ago, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. We'll probably have something again for tomorrow morning. I am working on a trade video as well, so be on the lookout for that. Trades that I want to see. I know you're all going to get grumpy when you see that. Anyway, enough of me rambling. Everyone, the light goal for tonight is 200. We got about 300 people in there. Help us hit that goal. Let's get to Jeff Passan here, shall we? So, Tyler Milliken, a great man over in Red Sox land. He provided us the clip. I mean, this is kind of floating around everywhere. But unfortunately, you're not going to be able to hear the audio. For some reason, my software, it doesn't allow the audio to play for some reason. But basically, Jeff Passan came on, said, everyone's still involved here. There's no favorites. There's not really anything going on right now, except he did say one pretty important thing here. He mentioned that this weekend, Juan Soto is going to be meeting with teams one more time, and then he's going to end up making his decision. So, I mean, this is kind of what I was saying last night. I felt like really, sure, you could have the Mets as the favorite. Sure, the Yankees, never count them out. Hal Steinbrenner is always going to make that last phone call to get the buzzer beater in. The Red Sox, I think they have a lot of vision to sell. I think there's a lot of arguments for the Red Sox to land Juan Soto. It really just comes down to, is John Henry going to be the old John Henry? Is he going to show up and open up the checkbook like we used to see him do? Go back to all those off seasons, right? 07, 13, going into 2016, 2017, 2018. He made he signed off on the big moves. Will we get that John Henry? I don't know. Mark Feinson actually did put out here that about the Dodgers, right? He ended up saying here, league sources believe Soto will make his decision by next week's meetings. Oh, here it is, right here. He said here, the Dodgers also met with Soto, but sources indicate that Los Angeles is unlikely to sign the four-time All-Star. I'm not really, I haven't really been a believer in the Dodgers in this whole thing. They've already allocated, so much money on their payroll, just bringing in Blake Snell. I think if they had the opportunity to bring in Soto, yeah, they'll figure out a way to get it done, but I don't think they're going to be a team that's going to throw down 15 years and $800 million for Soto. Yeah, they've obviously flexed their muscle when it comes to the finances over the last couple of years. I just don't see them coming to play in this situation, but I think they will hang back really in the end. But Feinstein basically says that they are unlikely to sign him unless something crazy happens. We will see. So really, in my opinion, I think it's down to 4 teams. I think it's the Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays, right? Listen, money does talk at the end of the day. I know I've been a little pessimistic when it comes to the Blue Jays on all this stuff, but with the Blue Jays, I just don't believe they have the vision to sell. I know I'm probably upsetting Blue Jays fans saying that. I hope there are some Blue Jays fans out there that maybe agree with me. Farm system it's not looking as strong as it was, just a few years ago. Vlad's not signed up. You got some other guys getting into free agency after 2025, guys like Kevin Gausman, for example. So the Blue Jays, I would say, the long-term outlook is a little murky. So I wonder if they're going to be a serious contender there. And it's also, too, will they be able to bring in other free agents out there? I'm not saying they can't because of finances, but can they convince other guys to come to Canada and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we got Soto. You want to come along too? I don't know. I just feel like the Blue Jays, they're probably going to be on the outside looking in. I really do think it's down to 3 teams at this point, in my own personal opinion. I think it's the Yankees, Mets, and the Red Sox. I think you got to go with the Mets right now being the favorite. And if you get Steve Cohen into a room with Juan Soto one more time, I think that's only going to help. There was a report not too long ago that Juan Soto, was very impressed with what the Mets had to present. Seemed like he felt, according to the reports, pretty good about what the Mets had on the table. Obviously, he was just with the Yankees for this entire year, made it to a World Series. He knows what kind of a bat he has with Aaron Judge behind him in the lineup. He knows that the Yankees got the money. He can get the endorsements there with the pinstripes. And then the Yankees absolutely should be not counted out here. We kind of got some weird reports from Randy Miller not too long ago. I don't know. He was saying that he was feeling like the Yankees are probably going to finish in 4th. He didn't sound very optimistic about the Yankees' chances. I know people will say what they say about Randy Miller, but, he, again, at least MLB Network trusts him enough to where they use his quotes on their TV channel. So, Randy Miller is, at the end of the day, whether you believe in him or not, he is a name out there. And, he sounds more pessimistic than anything, really, from what we've heard lately from him. So we'll see what ends up happening there. And then the Red Sox, right? One report that we also heard, similar to the Mets, is that Soto was impressed with the Red Sox presentation. We've been seeing these weird reports as well, phone calls with Rafi Devers, obviously close with David Ortiz. We've been seeing guys from the Dominican Republic sharing their thoughts about, things that they've heard, that Juan Soto and the Red Sox could end up being a good, I'm trying to think of one tweet exactly. You're kind of hearing the same sort of thing from all these guys as the Latin reporters. They seem to be more optimistic when it comes to the Red Sox chances. We'll see if anything with that becomes fruitful. I'm not sure. What I do think, after kind of diving into all of this, hearing Jeff Passan and what he had to say, seeing all these different reports that we will pull up here in a second, let me actually get to the reports and then I'll give you my thoughts. So we already looked at the Mark Feinsand report. John Heyman did go on today. John Heyman's a talking piece for Scott Boras. So it is what it is at the end of the day. But, I found this one rather strange. He said, I feel better about the Yankees' chances than I ever have. I'll give you my thoughts on that in just a second. Ben Uel posted this, another John Heyman tweet. I've heard rumors that Steve Cohen will write a check for whatever it takes to land Soto. Listen. You're literally seeing like 2 conflicting reports right there from literally the same stream that he had on Bleacher Report. I feel better about the Yankees' chances than I ever have. I've heard rumors that Steve Cohen will write a check for whatever it takes. Is this leverage land right now? He literally put out 2 different types of leverages in the same freaking stream. I'm just saying, it feels like leverage is going all over the place. And then we had Mike Rodriguez put this earlier, saying, I recently had the chance to converse with a source close to Juan Soto which is interesting because he's been putting some other things about how Rafi Devers and him have been talking on the phone, and I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. But he says here, I recently had the chance to converse with a source close to Soto who revealed some intriguing insights. According to their observations and conversations, it appears that Soto, friends, and family consider the Yankees to be his top choice, with the Mets trailing closely in second. Additionally, the source mentioned that Boston and Toronto are viewed as less viable options compared to these two teams. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, like I've been saying kind of all along, it feels like the Yankees and the Mets are probably in the driver's seat. Yes, I would love for my Red Sox to land him, but coming into the offseason, I didn't even think the Red Sox had a snowball's chance. I wasn't even thinking about the Red Sox with Juan Soto. I was looking at guys like Teoscar Hernandez. So I don't know. I mean, it's a little interesting where he's kind of said this similar stuff when it comes to talking about the Red Sox. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know how credible Mike Rodriguez is. He did put out something that the Red Sox had made an offer, and then Hector Gomez followed that up saying that he had heard $13,625 from the Red Sox at one point. I don't know, man. The kind of what I'm thinking about all of this, it feels like leverage all over the place right now. I don't know. The way I'm imagining it is they're getting to the finish line at this point, and Scott Boras is sending out signals everywhere. I guarantee you Scott Boras has a team dedicated to just having people put out stuff, right? Like John Heyman, for example. I think John Heyman is a guy that he either Scott Boras himself calls or he has someone else call and tells John Heyman a couple of things, or he waits for John Heyman to call him and then they tell him some stuff. I don't know, man. It just feels like it's a little chaotic right now. You've been hearing a lot of positivity about the Red Sox from just the most random people. I don't know who to believe. I don't know what's going on, whatever. But then you're hearing Yankees, you're hearing Mets, right? You're hearing stuff like this. You're hearing John Heyman say Cohen's going to write a check for whatever it takes. The Yankees, this is the best I've felt about the Yankees than I ever have. So I don't know, man. It just feels like it's a little chaotic all over the place right now. Really, and there's also other factors that you got to think about too. Remember, this is not the Juan Soto Corporation. This is the Scott Boras Corporation, right? It's also not just Scott Boras sitting in his office, whatever, in his silk pajamas, with his caviar and fruit smoothies, right? This is a guy that he has other clients as well, and he has a team of people, right, that are, they're doing a lot of things there. So remember, it's not just Juan Soto. There's other guys that he has to, also think about too. So that's why, yes, you're probably thinking, man, come on, I want a decision already. But at the end of the day, he's got a lot of clients to focus on. So I think that's coming into play a little bit. We'll see what ends up happening here, man. But there's just, there's a lot of smoke right now. Taking a look here at the chat. We got almost 600 people in this chat. Thank you for stopping by, everyone. What do we got here? John B. Red Sox could sign both Soto and Vladdy. I mean, I'm not even thinking about Vlad right now. I mean, listen, that would be amazing if they could somehow figure that out, whether if it was a trade or free agency next year. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love that. Everybody. But yeah, again, we're at a wait and see point here, but I think at the end of the day, the most important piece of information that we got was from Jeff Passan, from King Passan himself. There's going to be meetings this weekend. Final time for these guys to meet with Soto. This is a chance for John Henry to come in for the Red Sox, try and be the old John Henry. This is Hal Steinbrenner's chance to get, who knows, it could end up being his last conversation with Juan Soto in person when it comes to negotiating terms of a contract or whatever it may be. So I think Hal Steinbrenner, he's going to show up ready to go. Steve Cohen, he's just going to be Steve Cohen. He's going to say, hey, this is what we got. He's probably going to write something down on a piece of paper, a napkin, or whatever it may be, slide it across the table to Soto. This is what we got for you. We want you here. This is what it's going to be, right? John Henry, we saw the, if you're a fan of the Moneyball movie, right? Talking to Billy Beane, trying to get him to go there, right? Wrote down an offer on a piece of paper, gave it to Billy Beane, and So I think John Henry, I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled off something like that too, right? Hal Steinbrenner. I can see Hal Steinbrenner just saying it to him. We're going to give you this. This is our offer. This many years, this much money. We want you back. We want to go for it. We want to win a World Series with you. Let us know what you think. Give us a call. I don't see Hal Steinbrenner writing something down on a piece of paper. I could see John Henry, Steve Cohen doing something like that. I don't know. We will see, everyone. We will see. The Robobuck, Red sort of linked to Crochet via the rumors. I did talk about that in the video that I posted earlier, so go check that out. Joe Hill, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Arenado and the Tigers? I don't like the fit necessarily. I don't think that ballpark is going to be good for him. And especially, the Tigers, they were up and down with the offense this year, so I'm not sure if I trust them to be a team that's going to be able to get Arenado back on track, right? That's just my own personal opinion on that, but I don't like the ballpark there for him. I believe on StatCast, the expected home runs would drop by a good amount if he went to Comerica Park. So I don't know if I like that fit. Yeah, it would definitely help improve their defense at third base. Jace Young, that he is a bit of a question mark defensively. We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't count out any team from if they want to acquire Arenado, I wonder, though, because he has the no trade clause. I wonder if he would approve wanting to go to the Tigers. I don't know. I wonder if that could be something that comes into play. I think he would like to go to a team that's probably going to be more of a bigger market, bona fide contender. Like if the Yankees came calling, I think he would be all right. The Dodgers, obviously, if the Dodgers pulled off a deal, if they reached an agreement, he would definitely want to go there. I think the Dodgers could be a good fit for Arenado. We go back to when Jim Bowden said that he'd be shocked if Arenado wasn't a Dodger by Christmas. Go back, what was that, 5 years ago or 6 years ago, whatever it was, I don't remember. But I think he would be a good fit for the Dodgers. I think the ballpark would fit him well. I think the Dodgers also have a good track record of getting guys back to their old selves, right? Teoscar Hernandez, he regressed a lot the last couple of years before he went to the Dodgers, right? And they got him back on track there. They did the same thing with Jason Hayward. They have a good track record of that. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Arenado see a bit of a resurgence there, right? I think the Red Sox could be a good fit. I think that ballpark would be a good, friendly ballpark for him, right? Use the monster to his advantage. I know StatCast says the expected home runs would be down at Fenway Park. I don't know. I just think with the monster, I think if Nolan Arenado went to the Red Sox, that reminds me a lot of when they brought in Mike Lowell. So we'll see on that. I think there's a lot of good fits out there. I think Houston would be a good fit for Arenado. All right, you got the short porch and left. If Bregman doesn't come back, I could see them making a move like that. The Astros, they're in a window right now, and they want to feed that window as much as possible. We kind of saw a couple of things on Kyle Tucker, which I did talk about in the video that I posted earlier today. But yeah, everyone, again, I kind of wanted to just hop on here, give you a bit of an update on Soto. We're going to be getting meetings this weekend. I'm sure we're going to keep hearing more noise over the next couple of days. Could we see a decision by Sunday night? Maybe. I don't know. We will see. But this is the latest update that we have, everyone. If you were to ask me my percent chance as of right now, I would go Mets. Probably in the 35-40% range. I'd probably bump the Yankees up a little bit from what I was thinking yesterday. The Yankees, they're the closers, right? They're the team that you got to worry about late. I would put the Yankees in that, probably 25 to 30% range. I probably feel the Red Sox right now, 20 to 25%. Blue Jays, I'll give them anywhere, 10 to 15%, probably stick more closer to 10, maybe less there. But I think the Yankees Mets are probably in the driver's seat right now. We'll see. Red Sox, I think they have a chance. I mean, that's not coping. I just think they have a lot to sell. We'll see there. We'll see, but it's going to come down to the dollar. I think the difference with the Red Sox, sure, they can sell a vision, but are they going to be able to sell enough vision compared to what they offer in dollars? That's gonna matter here. That's gonna matter. We will see, everyone. But everyone, I'm gonna go live at Fenway Faithful. We're gonna go kind of dive into the Red Sox a little bit. I'm gonna put the channel in the chat. It's at Fenway Faithful. I'm gonna head on over there in just a little bit. If you want to hear more thoughts on the Red Sox point of view, I got a couple other stories to talk about. We're gonna talk a little about something that Rob Bradford put out there today, and when it comes to starting pitching for the Red Sox, I'm going to dive into that over there. We'll get into it. But everyone, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for joining me here tonight. If you come on the way out, hit that like button for me. We did have a goal of 200. We're a little short there, but let's see if we can get there in the replays. But everyone, have yourself a good night. I'll head over to Fenway Faithful in a little bit, and I'll talk to you next time.